Linux Mint 22.1, a year later. Updates, review, and upgrades, 2026 perspective. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's 2026 and Linux Mint 22.1 Zia has now been out for well over a year. If you installed it back in early 2025 thinking you'd get that classic set it and forget it experience, today we're checking in. Has it held up as the rock-solid desktop king, or have the updates and kernel shifts introduced any cracks? Most people install Mint and never look back, but you might be missing how much it's quietly evolved. From desktop refinements to better hardware support and security hardening, this isn't the same OS you booted up on day one. Let's dive into real-world performance after a full year of daily use. Stability and long-term performance. Linux Mint 22.1 launched in January 2025 as a point release on top of the 22 Wilma base, Ubuntu 24.04. It shipped with Linux kernel 6.8 and has benefited enormously from ongoing kernel updates. After 12 months of real-world use, web browsing, office work, light photo editing, and even some gaming on mid-range and newer laptops, the system remains exceptionally stable. Boot times stay snappy, typically 10 to 20 seconds to desktop on SSDs, and resource management is excellent. Idle RAM usage hovers comfortably around 1 to 1.5 gigabytes with Cinnamon, leaving plenty of headroom even on 8 gigabyte machines.
The move to newer kernels in the 6.8 Plus series through point releases like 22.2 has significantly improved hardware compatibility. Newer laptops with modern Wi-Fi, touchpads, and GPUs work more reliably out of the box. Users report fewer issues with high DPI displays and power management compared to the initial 22.0 launch. While a few isolated reports of graphics glitches appeared after certain Mesa updates in late 2025, the Update Manager and timeshift backups made recovery straightforward for most. Overall, Mint still feels responsive and boring in the best possible way. No major slowdowns or bloat creeping in.
The evolution of Cinnamon, 6.2 and beyond. Mint 22.1 shipped with Cinnamon 6.4, which brought a refreshed default theme with darker tones, rounded corners, native dialogues, and cleaner fonts. Subsequent point releases have continued polishing the experience with workflow improvements, better theming options, and refinements to the Nemo file manager. Action spices and applets have matured, making customization easier without breaking stability. The Update Manager itself feels more efficient, with better multi-threading. Wayland support. This is still the biggest work in progress. As of mid-2026, Cinnamon on Wayland remains experimental in the 22.x series. It's usable for many on simpler setups, but issues like screen sharing, certain NVIDIA configurations, or wake from sleep can still pop up. The Mint team has been steadily improving it, with full native elements, like a new screensaver, expected to land solidly in Mint 23. For the average user in 2026, X11 is still the recommended, battle-tested choice for maximum reliability.
Security patches and core system upgrades. Security has been a strong point. Regular updates through the Mint Update Manager have delivered critical patches without drama. The team's conservative approach, sticking to the Ubuntu 24.04 base until at least 2026, means upgrades are low risk and mostly seamless. The XApp initiative continues to expand, delivering consistent, cross-distro tools that feel native. Custom configurations rarely break during stack updates, which is a huge win for long-term users who tweak their setups. The growing software ecosystem and Flatpak integration. The software manager remains one of Mint's highlights, clean, curated, and beginner-friendly. For newer or specialized apps, Flatpak integration has grown in importance. It gives access to up-to-date versions of tools like LibreOffice, GIMP, or browsers without waiting for distro packages. Sandboxing adds a nice security layer too.
Gaming has improved nicely. Steam and Proton work well on newer kernels, with many titles running smoothly on AMD and Intel hardware. NVIDIA users may still need some tweaks. Native Mint apps like Warpinator, file sharing, and Hypnotics, IPTV, have seen steady, small improvements in usability and features. Final verdict and future roadmap. In 2026, Linux Mint 22.1 and the 22.x series still stands out as one of the best set-it-and-forget-it desktop operating systems. It holds up extremely well against flashier 2026 competitors that prioritize bleeding-edge features over stability. If you value reliability, familiar workflows, and minimal maintenance, this remains a top recommendation, especially for users coming from Windows. Should you stick with it or upgrade? If you're happy now, there's no rush. Support runs until 2029. The next major cycle, Mint 23, is on the horizon, likely bringing a more mature Wayland experience and newer base. When you're ready, the upgrade path within the 22 series has been smooth for most. Closing thoughts. Linux Mint 22.1 has aged like fine wine. It hasn't chased every new trend, but that's exactly why it works so well for millions. It's not the most exciting distro, but in a world full of distractions, boring and stable is a feature, not a bug. If you're on the fence about trying Linux or upgrading, Mint 22.x is still an outstanding choice in 2026. Drop a comment with your experience. Have you stuck with 22.1, moved to a newer point release, or tried something else? Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care!